Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am super excited to have you here today. We're going to completely demystify the complex, but honestly, incredibly fascinating world of surgical guides. If you've ever felt kind of overwhelmed by the jump from standard freehand implant placement to fully guided digital workflows, well, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking down the whole shebang. Everything from the foundational digital planning all the way to a practical, physical 3D printing workflow that you can bring right into your own practice. Let's map this all out so you can walk away with a crystal clear understanding.
Okay, so here's our agenda for today. We're going to start with the basic rationale for guided surgery, then move through the digital planning workflow. After that, we'll explore the escalating levels of surgical guidance, tackle full-arch support types, and finally, wrap up with accessible in-house 3D printing. Let's jump in.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the guided surgery rationale, transforming precision and profitability. Before we get into the how, we really have to establish the why, because adopting guided surgery isn't just about playing with cool new tech.
So ask yourself, why shift to guided surgery in the first place? Well, beyond the obvious technological leap, think about the immediate, tangible impact guided placement is going to have on your daily clinical life. We're talking about a fundamental shift in your practice's efficiency, a massive reduction in your personal stress levels during complex cases, and of course, vastly superior restorative outcomes for your patients.
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the financial reality. Just look at this number, $20 to $30. That is the average material cost to print a surgical guide in-house. Now compare that to sending it out to a lab, which is going to run you anywhere from $100 to $200. But here's the real kicker. When you bill out that surgical stent CDT code, which averages around $300, that profit margin becomes absolutely powerful. You are essentially unlocking significant new revenue while taking full control of your manufacturing process. It's a win-win.
But hey, it's not just about the immediate revenue, right? Look at the broader benefits. Saving time in the surgical chair is huge. But even more importantly, placing implants ideally from the very get-go leads to far fewer restorative headaches later on. Think about it. When your implant is perfectly aligned with the central fossa of your planned crown, you get way better access for occlusion. And what does that mean? Less screw loosening, less chipping, and highly predictable prosthetics.
Now let's take a quick reality check here. Guided surgery is amazing, but it's not magic. There are clinical limitations you've absolutely got to respect. The pros are obvious, right? Precise positioning and depth control. But let's look at the limitations. Drills can still deflect on a steep bony slope or against a hard cortical plate, even when they're inside a guide sleeve. And because the guide is opaque, you might not even realize it's happening. Plus, because external irrigation from your handpiece hits the top of the guide sleeve instead of the drill tip, well, you don't get direct saline flow. You have to use this deliberate, exaggerated pumping technique to pull saline down into the osteotomy just to prevent bone necrosis. And finally, if a patient simply can't open wide enough to accommodate the guide in those longer drills, you have to be ready to pivot right back to freehand.
Moving right along to Section 2, the digital planning workflow, or as I like to call it, the foundation of predictability. Let's see how we gather and seamlessly merge our patient's data before we ever even touch a surgical instrument.
All right, here is our 5-step digital workflow. First things first, we always diagnose using a full field of view CBCT to make sure we aren't missing any underlying pathology. Next, we capture the intraoral scan, the STL file, which gives us those precise soft tissue and tooth contours. Now, step 3 is where the absolute magic happens, merging and stitching that data. You see, your CBCT does not show soft tissue well at all, so getting a perfectly accurate stitch of that soft tissue STL directly over the CBCT bone data is the secret sauce. It's what ensures your guide will actually seat and fit securely in the patient's mouth. From there, you do a quick digital wax-up of the final tooth, and only then do you actually plan the implant to support that specific restoration.
All right, Section 3 covers the levels of surgical guidance, the escalating ladder of control. Let's take a look at the parameters you can actually manage during surgery.
Think of this like leveling up across 6 key parameters. At the simplest level, a guide controls position, that initial bullseye on the rich. Level up, and it controls angulation, which is the trajectory of your drill. Then we add depth, which is absolutely crucial for preventing you from drilling into a nerve or the sinus. A simple pilot guide gives you these first 3. But as we escalate, guided kits control width, allowing you to step up your drill sizes entirely through the guide. Then comes placement, guiding the actual implant body itself. And finally, the pinnacle, preformed prosthetics. If you control all the previous steps perfectly, you can literally have a temporary crown pre-milled and ready to pop in the moment the surgery is finished. How cool is that?
And that brings us to the definition of fully guided surgery. This is a procedure where every single step, up to and including the final placement of the implant body itself, is routed and controlled right through the guide sleeve using specialized guided carriers. This guarantees that adjacent implants are perfectly parallel, which makes restoring a bridge incredibly simple. Just keep in mind, though, fully guided surgery does require wider sleeves and a whole lot more vertical space in the patient's mouth.
Section 4. Full arch support types. When we're navigating complex anatomy, we transition from single teeth to full arches, and we really have to fundamentally change how our guides sit in the mouth.
Let's break down the 3 distinct ways we can physically anchor a full arch guide. First up, tooth-borne support. This is the most predictable because it rests right on the remaining stable teeth. You just have to carefully plan your selective extractions. Next, tissue-borne support. This is for your fully edentulous patients, relying completely on the soft tissue. And finally, bone-borne guides. These are used when significant bone reduction or alveoloplasty is required. Bone-borne guides demand a much larger surgical flap and actually rely on AI bone segmentation to get an intimate fit directly onto the patient's jawbone.
Let's zoom in a bit on how we prep for those tissue-borne cases using the dual scan protocol. Since we don't have teeth to scan, we take a well-fitting denture, slap some SureMark radiographic bead stickers on it, and use a radio-opaque green mousse to capture a wash impression. Then the patient gets a CBCT scan while wearing the denture, and after that, the denture is scanned all by itself. The software uses those radiographic beads to precisely overlay the denture onto the patient's bone scan. This gives us the perfect soft tissue baseline to build our guide upon.
Now for bone-borne cases, we use what are called stackable guides. Honestly, this system is brilliant. You start with a foundation guide that pins directly to the patient's exposed jawbone. This foundation guide gives you a physical plane telling you exactly how much bone to reduce. Once the bone is flattened, subsequent drilling guides literally click and lock right onto that initial foundation guide. It's incredibly stable, but I will say it definitely requires advanced surgical skills to manage the large flap that's needed. Which brings us to our 5th and final section, in-house 3D printing, bringing production right into the practice. Let's take all that amazing digital planning we just talked about and turn it into a physical product. We're going to look at the workflow using the SprintRay ecosystem as our example here. The best part about this? It is highly accessible and perfectly delegatable to your team. First, you upload your file to Rayware Cloud, where AI automatically handles the layout and adds all the structural supports. Then you print the guide at a highly accurate 100 microns. After it's printed, it goes into a multi-stage wash station using 97% isopropyl alcohol for about 11 minutes, just to get rid of any excess resin. Next, you pop the metal drill sleeves into the freshly washed guide. And finally, it goes right into the curing unit for 3.5 minutes of heat and light to finalize the material strength. Easy. Okay, I've got a fantastic, highly practical pro tip for you directly from the source material. If you test fit those metal sleeves before curing and they feel just a little bit loose, do not panic. Simply take a microbrush, dip it into a tiny drop of the liquid guide resin you just printed with, and swab the inside of the sleeve hole. Push the metal sleeve in, double-check that no resin is blocking the drill path, and then pop it in the curing oven. That tiny bit of resin is going to act like a permanent luting cement, guaranteeing your sleeves will never fall out during the actual surgery.
Wow, okay. We have covered a lot of ground today, from the core rationale and digital stitching, all the way to the parameters of control, full arch anatomy, and the totally delegatable simplicity of in-house printing. So I want to leave you with this final thought. From simple pilot holes all the way up to fully pre-milled prosthetics, are you ready to take the leap into digital planning and empower your team to bring the predictability and profitability of guided surgery into your own hands?